Hey everybody, and welcome to week 7 of Caught on Camera. Before we begin, I just want to say thank you for your patience. This episode is a little later than I planned due to some ongoing internet Wi-Fi issues, like real, human pauses in life. But as they say, better late than never. I've truly loved sharing this series with you, and I hope that the stories and the images have touched your hearts as much as they've touched mine. Thank you for staying with me and thank you for being patient on this journey. And thank you also for all your kindness and support along the way. I've had such beautiful emails and beautiful messages on Messenger, and people sending their own pictures in to me, which has been absolutely gorgeous. And I just want to thank you for that. And it's funny because I'm this face behind this screen. So when I get messages and when I get, people sending their own images in when I'm doing something like this, it really means a lot. So today, as I said, better late than never, I want to share something very close to our hearts. The first photograph was taken on Anglesey, at my mum and dad's resting place in the sand dunes of Rossniger Beach. Now, whether it's me or my sister, we will go and lay flowers whenever we're there, which is quite often, and we usually send a picture to each other. This is our way of saying that we've been there and we've spoken to mum, spoken to dad, and remembered them for you, meaning my sister. And on this particular day, it was just after one of the retreats. It was on her birthday. And on this particular day, I'd been sitting quietly with them for a while, talking out loud, just as I always do, little chatterboxing. And I was telling them about life, what's going on in the family, about little things that matter, or little things that would have mattered to mum. And then I was saying, do you know that we're here, mum? Do you know that we're here talking to you, laying these flowers? And and my dad's ashes are also at the foot of the airfield. So do you know we're here? Do you know we're talking to you? Give me a sign. There was no expectation, no pressure, just simple, honest question, to my mum and dad. And I thought, gosh, I best take a picture for my sister. Lifted my phone to take the picture, and an eye of light formed through a rainbow arc, gently resting across the scene as if spirit had reached down and said, yes, we see you. For me, this was no coincidence. It wasn't my imagination. It was reassurance. It was love answering love. Spirit doesn't always speak in words. Sometimes they speak in light, in a sign, in a quiet moment that wraps themselves around your soul. And if you've ever wondered whether your loved ones see you or whether they hear you or whether they are still close, let this be a reminder to you. They see you, they hear you, and they walk beside you even when the world feels quiet. Next picture. This is a photograph that was taken in the summer of 2024, and it was a really hot day in my own front garden. The sky was the deepest, clearest blue, not a cloud in sight. One of those perfect still moments when the world feels quiet and time seems to just pause. I'm sitting there with my cup of tea, daydreaming about those we've lost, remembering them, feeling their presence, holding them close to my heart, looking at the rose bushes blooming in my garden. And many people say that feathers are a sign from heaven, a gentle reminder from our loved ones in spirit. And as I looked up, usually they're talking about feathers that fall or feathers that we see on the ground. But I looked up into the endless blue sky and I saw it. A huge white feather formed in the cloud, the clouds that weren't there. stretching across the sky as if it had been painted there just for me. And in that moment, I didn't feel alone. I felt held. And it was as though Spirit was saying, we're here, we're watching you, we can hear you chattering away, you're never alone. And these signs don't arrive with noise or drama. They arrive quietly, softly, and when our hearts are open enough to notice them. And heaven hears you. Photograph is unmistakably amazing. As you can see by my feet, sorry about the feet and the pajamas on this picture. But it was quite late in the evening, and I'd just finished writing my book, Echoes of Clara. And the very first book tells of the story of how Clara came into my life. Clara always told me that Luna was sent to watch over me, and that she was placed in my life for a reason, to walk beside me as I do this work. And she's quite a nutty little cat, to be honest. And she found us, we didn't find her. And suddenly, we're both lying on the couch. I'm lying on one couch, my husband's lying on the other couch. And my husband says, "What's up with the cat?" And I said, "Why?" And I looked up, and she was sat bolt upright on the arm of my chair. The strangest thing was happening. She wasn't just sitting there, she was actually glowing. A soft, luminous light seemed to surround her, as if she'd stepped halfway between worlds. It was absolutely wacky. And of course, me being me, I grabbed my phone and took a photograph. And this is what we saw. And my husband was mesmerised that our black cat was glowing. And he said he always knew that she was a witch's cat. Charming, that's what I say. But for me, this wasn't just a camera effect. This was a moment of confirmation, a reminder that Spirit works through many forms, through light, through love, and sometimes through the gentle presence of a black cat who carries magic in her soul. I do not doubt that for a minute. The absolutely story is a sad one. A dear friend of mine had lost his little cat. And he was brokenhearted. It happened all of a sudden. He'd messaged me and asked me to see if I could contact her, see if she was all right. And she was still alive at that time. And I told him that she had told me that she's got terrible pain inside her stomach, and that she needed to say goodbye to him. Well, he was devastated. He took her to the vet, and the vet said there was nothing that they could do for her, that she had a tumour inside her stomach and it was causing her a lot of pain. He was heartbroken, and, he was just in tears. And after he'd had her put to sleep very gently, he messaged me and he said, "I need to know she's all right. And I need to know that she's with all the other family pets, and I need to know that she's not upset with me for letting her go." Oh, do you know what? I could feel it in my heart for him. I really did feel sorry for him. And I told him from my heart that she will find a way of letting him know that she's okay. She was his baby. And anyway, months later, he's got a Ring doorbell. And months later, he started messaging me images from his Ring doorbell. And then he started messaging me videos from his Ring doorbell. And he said that he was sort of in the middle of the night sometimes, or sorry, had to pause that then because my battery ran out and a big ding ding came up on my screen. So technical problems again, that's typical of me. Anyway, let's carry on from where I left off. So I said to him, she will find a way of letting you know. And she certainly did. These images were not taken by him, as I said. They were captured on his Ring doorbell camera over a course of a week. And so these videos have been being sent to me now for months. So I've actually had more since then. The first image of his cat, as you can see, she is pure white, very gentle and very beautiful. And then, night after night, the camera began to record something extraordinary. A soft white shape moving in the air, appearing above the houses, drifting exactly where, a little body used to walk. And there's no mistaking this, it was her returning in light. You can see the shape. What I'll do is I'll put a couple of images up. One is just the image on its own, or the video on its own, and the other I'll circle around the shapes, where you can see her on the video or on the picture. And you can see the shape of her beautiful little white face. You can see her eyes and her nose, and it is unmistakably, and it wasn't even taken by him, as I said. It was taken by a Ring doorbell, which is just remarkable. She was letting him know that she was safe, letting him know that she was still close, letting him know that love does not end by death. Animals have souls just as we do, and they love us fiercely, unconditionally. And when they leave this world, they do not simply disappear. Sometimes they come back and say, I'm all right now. Please don't worry. I am still with you. So anyone that's lost an animal, or whether it's a cat, a dog, a horse, a giraffe, whatever it is, just remember that they go to the same place as other souls, and they are still watching over you. So I hope those beautiful videos bring you some comfort if you've lost an animal recently. I could go on forever with these photographs, but seeing as it's the last one, I might just do that. So there are so many little miracles, so many gentle signs that mean the world to those who are grieving. But I do hope through this series that you can see how much these small moments truly matter. This next photograph, I was sitting in my living room one morning preparing a welcome for 20 people into our home to celebrate mine and my granddaughter Ella's birthday. Ella was born on my birthday, which was a little miracle in itself. So we always celebrate twice. Any excuse for a party. And on this particular morning, I was sitting with my cuppa, feeling grateful and a little emotional, as I always do on my birthdays, because I miss my mum and I miss my dad. And I looked up, this angel ornament was glowing, and it that had a rainbow over the top of it and over the top of its head, as if it was wearing a rainbow halo. My mum and dad gave that to me on my 21st birthday, which was a long time ago, I don't mind telling you. And she is incredibly precious to me. In that moment, I felt them with me so strongly, as if they'd stepped into the room to say happy birthday to their daughter. I received a message from my sister. She was in Tenerife. Can't stop, can I? I hope you're enjoying this. I am a bit of a rabbiter, but I'm not going to close it here. I am going to add this beautiful, beautiful picture, because it actually made both of us cry. So while my sister was in Tenerife, it would have been my mum's birthday on the 27th of January. And it's funny, isn't it? Because you should have had this video well before then, but obviously it's late, so I would not have been able to add this to it. So due to technical issues, I couldn't load this video up at all. But I think our mum wanted you guys to see these images. They are powerful and heartwarming. As I said, my sister was in Tenerife, and like she always does if she's away on mum's birthdays and moments like this, she sets her alarm to watch the sunrise, holding mum and dad in her heart. And she took images of the sun rising, like they were, fast forward images. And the sky seemed to part, and a pathway of golden light appeared across the sea, and there were steps, step by step, like a stairway to heaven itself. In that moment, she felt them, not in sorrow, but in closeness, as if love had found their way to Tenerife to meet her there, through the light, through the stillness, and through remembrance. Some moments don't need explaining, they simply arrive and wrap around us and whisper, "We are closer than you think." And I want to say thank you to my sister Kath for sharing these images with me. I have to say, the pair of us had a bit of a cry over these because it's unmistakable that you can actually see a stairway to heaven through the beautiful morning sunrise.
Another sunrise paints the window grey. A feather landed on the path today. Was it you just passing by? A whisper in the wind, soft sigh. And I will find you in the quiet things. A hopeful song a lone bird sings. You're in the light that finds its way, guiding me to a brighter day. Trace your memory in the evening stars, healing these old familiar scars. A favorite book, a worn out chair. I close my eyes and you are there, and I will find you in the quiet things. Hopeful song a lone bird sings. You're in the light that finds its way, guiding me to a brighter day. A brighter day.
I really do hope you loved those pictures because they were quite personal to my sister and quite personal to me. Thank you, everybody. That's made me a little bit emotional. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Lots of people have asked me to do different types of things, so I want to know what you want me to do, what type of videos you want me to do. So I am going to put a post up, so please look out for that post. And once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm so sorry that this was so late. Sending you all a great big hug. Lots of love, and I will see you again soon. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. May the path ahead unfold with clarity. May your heart stay open to the quiet signs. And may you always feel held by the light within you. Until next time, look for those signs, sending you love and positive vibes. With love from me, Lynn Robinson.